Hi Dad, it's Saturday, November 15th, and I'm out in the greenhouse. It's 12:30 noon. It's really warm in here. I was in here this morning, and when I was in earlier, I cut out a lot of the greenery out of the tomato plants, as you can see, because, well, it's the middle of November. Even though they're still producing tomatoes, they've got to stop soon because it's just not tomato weather anymore. So I was out here this morning and it was just a couple degrees and my hands were cold, my nose was running, I had my hat and my gloves on and stuff, and I was freezing. So I went in, I had another coffee, I had some lunch, stuff like that. And now I'm back out here and it's not very warm outside. It's definitely coat and hat weather, but in here it's really hot. Let me grab the thermometer and see what the temperature says. So currently this says 16 degrees, but I don't know, when you're in the sun and you're wearing a black sweater, I think it's pretty much warmer. Bet you if I held this thing out in the sun for a few minutes, it would increase in temperature. What I want to do today is get my little ginger plants up, because I think they're just about done. And I don't want to be out here when it's below zero daytime in the greenhouse trying to get stuff out. So I'm going to go get my garden fork and something to put them in, and maybe I'll do a little video and put it on time lapse so you don't have to watch every single tedious moment of it. All right, Dad, hold on. Here we go. Whew, there's my ginger. So I just dug it all up. Got quite warm in here, and the ginger really smells strongly when you're moving it around it and touching it. It's a combination of the smell of the ginger and the smell of the soil, so it's a really earthy, yummy kind of smell. I'm really happy with some of these roots. Like, this is the one that I was really interested to see what it would be like, because this long stalk, I noticed the girth of it as it started to grow. So I was hoping that it would be a good size. Let me see if I can get my... All right, there we go. I was hoping that this root would be a good size, and it sure is. That's pretty incredible. And this is another one that, man, that's friggin' big. Look how, it's almost translucent, yellow, and a little bit pinkish. So happy with these. Oh boy. I think I want to go in and make some ginger tea with this right now. And this is kind of funny. This one's got no roots on it at all. I don't really understand. I think that it must have, there we go. I think it must have been attached to this other little piece and it was using these roots. Oh yeah, I think I see. This is the spot that it broke off on when I dug it up. I don't know where it was attached on this one. Anyway, look at the size of those guys. They're huge. So with the stems, I'm going to make a ginger stem syrup. And with the leaves, I'm going to dry them for ginger tea. And the roots, I'm going to use it for all the things you use ginger for. It looks different in here without them. But then again, there's also the fact that I cut out most of the stuff on those tomatoes. I don't know if my green peppers will ever ripen. Not the biggest fan for green pepper, but it's okay. Maybe if I cut them and bring them in, they'll ripen. I plucked a lot of the tomatoes that were on those. I guess I should have brought that big stem of tomatoes in too. Whew, holy moly, it's warm in here. No wonder the loofah plants are still doing so well. All right, I'm gonna take these guys in. I think I'll probably take them down to the lake first and rinse them off. All of our outdoor water is now unhooked in anticipation of freezing weather, so it's either bring them in and wash them in my sink, which I don't think I want to do, or take them down to the lake, which is what I will do. So I'm down here and I'm literally just dunking the roots in. Sometimes I'll go in and dig between them to try to get some of the extra soil out, but I think I got most of it now. It hides in there pretty well. And I tell you something, washing stuff in the lake 2 weeks ago was not too bad. It wasn't too cold on the hands, but today it sure as heck is. So these little babies are officially washed enough for me. I'll take them out and wash them the rest of the way in the sink. The roots are really, really fleshy. I wish there was something I could do with those guys. This is a pretty cool experience, I think. All right, here is my ginger harvest all laid out to see. I haven't trimmed any more of the soil off or trimmed the roots, but I wanted them to dry a little bit. Oh, looking good. I guess I probably should get some kind of a knife to trim those off, because scissors or anything like that are not quite going to cut it. All right, find a knife. One more little view of them pretty much cleaned up. Just have to wash the rest of the dirt off. What are you saying? You talking to Grampy? How you doing, Mr. Meow? Oh, your line is tangled up a little bit, isn't it? Okay. We will fix that for you. 2 tangles, one here and one here. There you go. You're free to go to whatever length you want at the end of your line. He very much likes it here. Much better than at the house. You like the ginger? Okay, say goodbye to everybody, Brew. Say goodbye. Meow. This will be the last segment for this video. I just wanted to show something interesting that I noticed when I was washing them. On a couple of them, like on this one, I don't know if you can see it quite well, but this chunk, I'm going to break that right off, is kind of like an old dried out piece. When you compare it to the new fleshy stuff like this. There's another one, I think this little bit right here as well. So when you get ginger and you decide to root it, all you have to do is let the roots start growing out of one of these pieces. And that's what this is. This is one of the old pieces that I originally grew the roots out of. Now when I grow them, put that in the soil, and after a certain amount of time, it will put out a little stem, and then after the stem's put out, it'll start growing roots. And the roots will come from the bottom of the stem, so you can break that off and put that directly in the soil instead of leaving the whole thing in. When I grew these ones, I did leave the whole thing in. That's why that was still attached there. I think next year, if I do another video about this, you won't see any of these, because I've kind of moved to just breaking off the freshly grown pieces and putting them in the soil instead of putting the old dried out knobbly little bits. All right, that's the last video. Just had to show off one more time these beautiful, gorgeous ginger babies. And for any purist who's watching this, I'm sorry that I referred to these as roots. The roots are what I cut off of them. These are the tubers. All right, time for some lovely smelling tea. Ta-ta for now.